Oh, yeah. We have another episode of Squawk Talk, and I know you've been waiting for it, and especially this guest. You will not believe who our guest is this week. This week we have... Oh, yes, we actually have an awesome guest. Mr. Morgan.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I am doing well. How are you, Mr. Schneider?
I am wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Got my water. It's the end of the day.
Very nice.
Hanging with Mr. Morgan.
I've got my coffee, so I'm right there with you.
Oh, you could have used their mug.
Oh, that's true.
But I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
I came ready to go.
That's a very smart move. Where do you get the coffee? Is that in the?
I keep if you ever need it, I keep a jar of iced coffee in the production room.
Ready to go.
Ready to go. Any moment.
I thought of getting one of the little ones just for my room.
Yeah.
We've got a little one. All right. Enough of that. Students don't care about that. All right. If we were watching, we'd be like, I don't care about that.
That's true. Probably. Yeah, that is probably true.
All right. So this is your 30th year here. What is this? Second? No. First. You got it. Gosh.
Yes, this is my first year. Not only at Rockwood South, but in the Rockwood School District altogether.
Now, where were you before? Because was it elementary?
Yes, it was. I was in the Pattonville School District. I worked for them both through the Special School District of St. Louis County and then with Pattonville. So I worked at 3 different elementary schools in Pattonville before coming here.
Yeah, no kidding. Very cool. Because I remember that from our last interview, which we had an interview. Somebody messed up all the audio. I don't know who that was.
And that one was way funnier. That was like the best interview ever.
We should post it just so they can laugh at the silence.
There were fireworks.
So
it was amazing.
So good. All right. Let's see. And where are you in your family when you were growing up? Were you brothers, sisters?
Both, one of each.
And were you the youngest, the oldest?
I'm the baby. I am the youngest of 3. I have my oldest sibling's my sister, and she is 4.5 years older than me.
All right.
Then I have a brother who's 2 years older than me.
So there's still not a huge split.
No. Yeah, no. My brother was my best friend growing up. We hung out all the time. So and fought all the time, as brothers do.
And where was that? Where did you grow up?
St. Charles, actually. Yeah. I went to Francis Howell schools pretty much my whole educational career from kindergarten up to 10th grade. So
I have a friend who grew up in St. Charles, just like you. Except he talks like this all the time. This is how he talks. I'm like, did St. Charles? Not. But it was just his family and what he did and his raising.
Well, I was going to say, St. Charles, when I grew up out there, I mean, we lived in like a neighborhood that, would look like any neighborhood in Fenton, but all around it was still farms.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't developed the way it is now.
Not a suburban mecca like it is.
Yeah, no, it smelled like cows still. Yeah, that was still the prevailing aroma.
That's a terrific thing.
No, not great. Not great, but you get used to it.
Yeah. I like the water in Eureka. Have you ever gotten a water at a restaurant in Eureka?
No.
Ooh, it is not good.
I will say
what did they do wrong?
I lived in Phoenix for a long time, and the water out there, if you get it straight out of the tap and set it on the counter, you can watch sediment just settle.
Oh.
There's so much just sediment in it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's wild. Okay. So your pet peeve is when people leave the lights on.
Oh, yeah.
And I say people, but I think I know who we're talking about here.
Children. My children. I had a moment where I was like, okay, I have reached full parenthood and full fatherhood when I was walking through the house, like ready to go to bed, and I was turning off the lights, and I turned off the lights, and I saw the light in the basement on. I was like, so I walked down there, turned that light off, see that the light in the laundry room, I was like, I go turn that off, and I see one more light. And without even thinking about it, I just immediately to myself was like, oh, we're leaving all the lights on now. I was like, okay, I am fully my dad at this point. I have reached that point.
I didn't care. I was the one that left it off.
Right.
Keep switching the cameras on, whoever's on. And I'm going to ask our awesome tech person, Jackson, if he could turn on the 2 lights that are right here that we failed to turn on.
My pleasure.
I don't know who did that. It's on the cord on the way down. Follow the cord down. And then there's 2 little right in the middle. Just turn those things on there. Whoa, there we go.
Look at that.
Holy cow.
Light.
Ooh.
Should adjust. Man,
I feel like we need the makeup crew to come in, get the shine off the forehead.
Makeup. All right. But our crew of Jackson is amazing. Yeah, go and turn them both down a little bit. That's good. Yeah.
Beautiful.
All right. All right, if you made a movie,
Mhm.
this was awesome. If you made a movie, who would play you? Do you remember who you said? Which?
I do. The only celebrity that I have ever thought that I have bear any resemblance to whatsoever is Ed Helms, most famously from The Office and then from The Hangover.
Yeah.
And
And I think it's great. I mean, there's none of the ridiculous doofiness, but
right,
also the casual kindness of the characters he generally plays.
right.
I would say that really suits, like demeanor,
Okay.
but definitely not.
Hopefully
I see
rem-
you as a professional,
Right.
and I don't ever see his characters. So there's that. That's where the gap.
I was gonna say, hopefully removing the bursts of rage that his character in The Office had
Right.
when he would just punch holes in the walls and
I guess
such.
I was
Hopefully we
thinking
can
even
avoid
later.
that.
You're absolutely right. I really wasn't even thinking early on. I was
Okay,
thinking
after
later. Yeah.
anger management,
Yes,
once he went through
yes.
that.
Because he was more Dwight-ish in the beginning.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Because,
He was like
demeanor
the
and all that,
anti-Dwight.
but yeah,
Right.
I was definitely thinking the other 5 seasons or whatever. Yeah.
Right.
Let's say if you had this, I love this. If you had a 25th hour of the day, you would write, and I forgot what it's called. MG fiction. What is it?
And yes, middle grade.
right, yeah.
So I mean, in the fiction world for kids, I mean, you have like children's books, and then you have middle grade, which tends to be like 5th through 8th grade,
Yeah.
and then young adult, more geared towards high school students. But yeah, and actually, I mean, this is a spoiler, but this won't air for a while. So
Until September, so.
the 8th grade, we had a contest for the 8th graders where they could guess like what was a neat fact about different staff
Oh, right,
members.
yeah.
And the one that I put up there, which I will say Dr. Sindel removed one word from my phrasing, which was pretty important, but is that I am technically a professional writer.
Yeah.
Because I posted a number of short stories I did on this website called Medium and received enough likes and enough views
Yeah.
that their algorithm paid me, and this is true, 1 penny. So
Woo!
I have
Wow.
I have been
penny.
technically paid for my writing, but as little as it's possible.
He's
to be.
buying dinner now.
It's-
He's
I
a
gotcha.
paid writer.
Penny candy, booyah.
But you know, a
Watch
lot of
out,
people,
Stephen King.
They do get paid like 0.03 cents per stuff. So you actually
That's true. I had a
you actually
legitimate
had-
penny.
right a lot.
Yes.
You actually had a lot of views. To get that. Yeah. Warning. This is the warning label from Mr. Morgan. May speak in excessively large words.
Yeah, that is a trait that I get from my parents. My dad in particular. He is a really, really smart man. And when we were growing up, he would never like dumb down the way he spoke to us. Like no
Yeah.
matter how young we were, it was like he would just talk the way he talked. And if you didn't know a word, then it was, well, look it up. Or ask me and I'll tell you what it means.
Right,
But like
exactly, yeah.
I'm gonna say what I say. And so we the other thing, we got corrected all the time. My older brother's name is Ian, and so if I was telling the story and was like, oh, you know, me and Ian were playing basketball, no, Ian and I.
Yeah,
I mean, he would
right.
cut us off every time.
I do that
So
to kids all the time. I said, they're mean. Why did you call your friend mean? Mean? Because it's mean. Yeah, and when they
Nice.
say it fast, it sounds like you said
right.
Mean John and I. Yeah, they don't say I. Mean John did
Right,
this.
Mean John
So
went.
why
So
is
that
he-
was
all right. So let's see. We've got 2 things I want to touch on here.
okay.
They're at the end of the beginning. And I can't remember the question I had there. So I'm just going to go with this one. The place you would like to be, if you go to any fictional place,
Mhm.
you put either Hogwarts or Lothlorien. Am I even close?
Yeah,
on that?
no, that's pretty accurate. Lothlorien, that's from Lord of the Rings. So,
Okay.
So that was like my introduction. I love fantasy novels and fantasy
Yeah.
movies and things like that. And that was kind of my introduction as a kid. It was like a rite of passage in my family. You read The Hobbit, and then you read The Lord of the
Lord of the
Rings. And
Rings.
Lothlorien is the golden forest that a
Gotcha.
nation of elves lives in. So as a kid, I was always
Always
fascinated with it and wanted to go there.
very cool.
And then
cool.
Hogwarts. I mean, who doesn't want to learn
Right,
magic?
and the person
right?
was Gandalf that you put.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Of
absolutely.
course.
I love
Um,
Dumbledore, but I mean, Gandalf would take him in a fight any day. So
It's
that's-
true.
That's
It's
my
true. It's true. But that's because he always won. He's not a good guy.
no. Well, and Gandalf basically dies and comes back. I mean, he has the whole
So-
resurrection
right,
arc in the
the-
Lord of
the
the
whole
Rings.
arc,
So I mean,
yeah.
you can't beat him. He's
Yeah.
he's a
No,
demigod.
he's going to be back anyway. Exactly.
Right.
All right, it is time for you to spill. So we've got some photos. We
Okay.
did the scoop already. That's where that was because I didn't introduce that at all. And All right, let's see what photos we have here.
All right.
And Mr. Morgan will tell us about them. Can you get his picture up there too?
Oh,
yeah,
this
there it is.
Beautiful. So this is my first office as a school administrator. It was at an elementary school in Pattonville, and that it doesn't give good scale there, but that was a closet. As much as, and I know Rockwood South, we are absolutely crunched for space. Like we have no space. I will say the elementary school I was at was actually worse. I mean, we had about 6 or 7 of us who worked in closets. We had no more closets. The only storage space we had in the building was the stage in the gym. So
and that does happen here, but they can't clear it now.
Yeah, no. Well, when we cleared it, we set it outside to do stuff on the stage, and then brought it back in. And so, so that's why that. But it was a special office.
So
I mean, I love
made
it.
a
Many
penny
good
and
times
you've
there.
worked in a closet.
Absolutely.
Living the sweet life.
Well, that's why I feel for Harry Potter. You know, he had his little cupboard under the stairs. I had my my boss's former closet that was converted to my office.
It looks good though. You made it work.
Yes,
and you were going to. You got the clock there. All right, next photo. Let's see what we got here.
The family picture. Yep, that is me
awesome.
And my wife Melissa, and then our 3 kids. The oldest there is Rachel. She's 10. Then there is Maya right next to me. She is 8, and then Lydia, who I'm holding, who is 5.
Oh, so cute. But none in diapers anymore.
Oh no, yeah, none in diet. Which that is such a glorious moment when you're done with that.
There's this aha moment, like we can take this little human with us and take nothing else.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's like
it's
the former. If you ever see me coming in and out of school with my backpack, that's our former diaper bag. But we no longer need it for that. So it was like, well, this is a nice durable backpack. I'm going to start using it myself.
It survived a child.
It did. Yeah. Anything. Absolutely.
Awesome. All right, next. What we got? Oh, I think I remember this from the first silent movie we made.
Yes, this is me many moons ago when I still lived in Phoenix, Arizona. My wife and I, at that point, we loved hiking because, I mean, Phoenix is basically just ringed with mountains. And so pretty much no matter which direction you go, you can just find a trail to climb a mountain and then come back down. And that's on the top of one of the coolest ones. It's called Piestewa Peak. It is... You can't see it that well in the background, but it's basically in the middle of Phoenix.
You can look around.
Oh yeah, like my view there is like right at downtown. We're like in the middle of town. That's not out in the middle of nowhere,
wow,
which is pretty
really
cool. It's just a mountain right there that you can climb and then get to the bottom, and there's restaurants all around you. That's pretty awesome.
A lot of sweaty people walking in, but you know, that's really cool.
Yeah, but awesome. I loved it. It was a lot of fun.
Fantastic. All right, I think it's now time for us to spin. All right, bring it on. Bring it on up here. I didn't get this ready either. I am off today. All right, let's do this though. I've got it on here. I'm pretty sure, right? There it is. All right, we're going to spin to find out which game Mr. Morgan and I will play on the show.
I thought we were going to have to actually spin. I didn't want to do that.
No, my head doesn't feel good.
I was going to say, we did that for Falcon Fun Day. That did not work out well.
All right, let's see. Let's see what he gets. See what he gets. Pass the pigs. Pass the pigs. All right, you got to look at the yellow sheet. Our 3 guests here are going to pick which thing we have to roll on our yellow sheet. There's one to the right there too for you. Why, thank you, sir.
Oh,
I need 2 of the white things too.
White.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's gonna bring us those. Which one do we have to roll, guys? There's one that's impossible. Don't make it that one. We'll be here too long.
Oh.
A razorback.
A razorback. All right. Which one's a razorback? Razor. Oh, it has to be on his back. All right.
Okay, so we have to roll 1 pig.
There you go. Pick a pig. Actually, you can roll 2 just as long as you get a razorback. So.
Oh, okay.
It takes a little 2.
Let's see. I'm gonna go. All right, there we go.
All right. So we just have to roll until one of us gets a razorback.
A razorback.
All right.
Okay.
And tell us when to go. Oh, that's good. That's good.
I got one.
Oh!
Boom!
Time.
Right out of the gate.
Oh my gosh.
It fell over as I said it on the table.
I saw it.
Okay. I was gonna say, I promise. I promise. Landon was looking at me disbelievingly. He was like, "Come on, man, what is that?"
This is a fun game to play with kids too, since you have kids.
I
just like rolling pigs like dice. It's kind of a cool idea.
Right, that was interesting. And just looking at the different versions or the different ways that you can roll it. I wouldn't have thought that. That's kind of cool.
As you play, those different points go up, and there are some you can gamble with. If you don't roll something, then you kind of drop down. So there's a lot more to it strategy-wise, but mostly
I like
you're
it.
rolling plastic pigs, and that's
Pigs.
kind of cool.
That's awesome.
And I was destroyed at that, so thanks.
I'm
so
in
much for
favor of
that.
it.
All right, so
I got skills.
the other thing we were gonna break into is teaching, education.
All right.
So we need to go to. We don't have a. Well, we have a stage. Go ahead and bring up a stage. It should say school, but I never made that one. So, all right.
Yeah, that
So,
works.
in this stage of life, there we go.
There we go. I
See
like
that
it. Very
segue?
nice.
Yeah. What got you into teaching in the first place? I know you started originally in special school district, correct?
Well, I started my teaching career in Arizona, and I actually teaching is my second career. I started off in the mental health field.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, working mostly with adolescents and teenagers, and then eventually just kind of had the urge to go back into teaching or to get into it. So I started working first as a paraprofessional in a special ed classroom, and then once I got my degree, still living in Phoenix, I became a special ed teacher out there, and then moved back here, worked for special school district, and I've had the opportunity to do a whole bunch of jobs in schools. I mean, between being a paraprofessional, special education teacher, both like resource room, self-contained, taught fifth grade for a couple years, so kind of got to see schools from see schools from a bunch of different angles. So coming to a middle school was actually really exciting to me because it was like, wow, that's just like one new challenge. I feel like I keep every few years I hit a point of like, all right, I gotta try something else, mix it up,
really cool.
get a new perspective. So
That's awesome.
yeah, it's kind of cool.
Which I sort of like that in theater. It seems like every year is a different,
right?
Because sometimes I write and then we direct, and we do the musical, and then we do and depending on the level of talent that's there, everything changes just there. Am I teaching them just the basics, or am I taking it to a whole new level within their acting?
Right.
It's really cool. So for me,
absolutely,
I love it. All right. So and so how long have you been just in education?
Let's see. This is my 9th year. Yeah. So this is my 9th year in education.
Very cool.
Overall,
that kind of plays out in all the things you said that you've done. Little of this, little of that, but
I guess
a couple years in 5th grade.
Well, I guess it with the paraprofessional attitude would be my 10th year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And do you have any favorite student memories or school memories in general? I should say, really.
So probably one of them that I thought was really cool because it was just kind of a unique thing that I got to do. So my 1 year when I was teaching 5th grade, I had a student who I actually got to go to their book signing. She and her mom wrote a book together, and then they self-published it. And so it was just really cool. I mean, I got to take my family, and we went to this bookstore, and it was a full-on book signing. She did a reading, and then was sitting there signing books as kids were coming through and stuff. And
that's all. And
it was really cool.
My sister actually self-published a book. No, she wasn't self-published. She had a publishing company. But it was a smaller release, like on demand. There were so many hundred.
Right.
Yeah, and it's just cool. And you're going I'm here for the book signing of my sister.
Right.
Not just that person on the back of but it's the person on the back that I know.
Well, and it felt very weird being like, I'm here for the book signing of the author whose writing I grade.
Right.
I'm the one who grades the writing of this person who has released a book. Okay.
Automatic A.
That's kind of weird.
Automatic A.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That is really cool. Okay. So we need to go to our survey.
Yeah.
All right, we got to pass over the triangle, man.
All right.
It's not really a triangle, it's a prism.
Here comes
it's not really a prism.
Right. I believe it's ooh, thank you.
Okay. All right. We're going to do love or hate. So he's got love, hate, or both love and hate, which is that's pretty good. But the 2 thumbs up.
Oh, both love and hate.
And then could care less is down.
Boom.
So that doesn't mean you don't like it, because that
means I could care less.
It's confusing. Yeah,
okay,
right.
I got it.
All right, we're gonna do these fast. That's
okay.
The new thing is we're just gonna roll through these.
Let's do it.
Roller coasters. Horror. Stories. Pickles. Reading.
Love.
Shopping.
Kind of depends on what it's for.
It does. If it's for me, suddenly got better. No.
Right. Or if it's like for a car.
Yeah. Oh no.
No fun.
And
hate that.
For me too.
Yeah.
If it's something cool for me, that lights up when I put,
then
if
it's
it's
great.
just like,
Then it's
"Oh,
amazing.
good, I got more paper for the printer today.
Right.
Woo!
Yeah,
Okay.
that's not fun.
Yeah, no. And coffee. Well, we already know that.
I was gonna say that's
Yeah,
a
loves
love.
of coffee.
Gotta
All right,
love
how do you take your coffee?
black. Actually, no
Woo!
sugar, no cream, no
Impressive.
nothing. So,
That's impressive.
but I like a light roast. That's important. If
Right,
it's a darker
dark.
roast, you need more in
A little
it.
something because
Yeah.
it's
Yes. Yeah. It becomes too much at that point.
That'll wake you up.
Oh, absolutely.
And video games.
Love.
Love them. And now, what era are you in with video games?
I am kind of stuck in my childhood. I mean, I was born the same year that the Nintendo Entertainment System came to America, and so I grew up with with Mario and Zelda and Donkey
Yep.
Kong, and so I mean, I'm anxious. I know this will air afterwards, but I'm anxiously awaiting the new Zelda game that's
Yes.
coming out soon, and me and my
Very cool.
kids, we play Mario together all the
Oh,
time,
yeah,
and
yeah.
love it.
That's very cool. I'm the generation before that.
Okay.
Before the crash that happened, but it was
Right.
the first game, Nintendo game in America was open to my system. Like came with it.
Uh-huh.
Donkey Kong was the package.
Yeah. Right.
Which made it it elevated the whole thing right there.
Oh,
Which they sold
absolutely.
millions.
Back when Mario was still Jumpman.
Yeah,
before
it
they'd
was
give
after that.
Yeah,
but
before they'd
yeah.
given him the name Mario.
And okay, sports.
Sports. Yeah, I mean it depends on the one.
Depends.
Love watching soccer, love playing basketball.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And running.
I like running. Yeah, I try to do that a couple times a week.
Very cool. All right, we're going to this or that. So it's either this, the first thing, that, the second thing, both, or neither. All right, here we go.
I think I got it. All right.
If you were gonna be in a play,
Okay.
would you rather be an actor or a technician?
So technician would be that.
Yes.
I'd probably go that.
Yep. Very cool.
I think I'd be more comfortable on that side.
Would you rather talk or text someone?
It depends. It's a little bit of either. I think if it's a long conversation, you got to talk.
Right.
But if it's like, hey, you want to go out to dinner? Then it's
Right.
like it's just a quick question,
Right.
get it out there and let it go.
Absolutely. Yep. Are you tidy or messy?
A little bit of both. Like physical space, I tend to be kind of disorganized. But my Google Drive, impeccable.
All
Yeah.
the time?
Typically.
Or does it get crazy and then better and crazy?
No, even my inbox, I tend to keep it pretty. Like my wife, her inbox just is at the point where it's like 999 plus. And I'm like, I can't do that. That stresses me out. Like you have over 1,000 unread emails. Like that's wild.
Well,
But-
and see, I do that where it just gets really full, and then one day I just select all, and just save, whatever.
Right.
Archive. I archive everything, so
Right.
I can get it,
Sure,
but
it's not there anymore.
I'll have to look at it.
Yeah.
But it gets right back. I can't. I gotta look at when I'm at to look at. I don't know.
That makes sense.
I'm impressed with anybody who can do that. And are you silly or serious?
A little bit of both.
Silliest?
Yeah.
Or
Silly,
serious?
Sirily. I don't know.
Seriously.
Again, I think different situations call for different things.
I absolutely do too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And are you a morning person or a night owl?
Morning.
And
I don't really stay up past 10 p.m.
Right.
I'm kind of
I
done by
can.
that point.
But when do you like to write? Morning or afternoon or evening?
Night.
Night?
Yeah. Writing has always been an evening thing.
Evening
Like,
thing,
yeah,
very cool.
get the kids to bed and then write.
And then write, yeah.
Yeah.
And summer or winter, which do you prefer?
I'm gonna go both. I think there's always, I mean, as an educator, of course, we always have a draw to summer because,
Absolutely.
duh, of course, But
Yeah.
I love all the holidays. I do love the cold. I like snow, and there's always that excitement too. Then, as an educator in the winter, because then there's always the rolling the dice of what day is going to be a snow day.
Oh,
Any day. I mean,
yes, that
an ex-
any day can be that.
it's an
joy.
exciting thing that most professions don't
Do
get.
not get absolutely. And which you prefer, pie or cake?
Cake.
Oh.
I love pie as well, but my wife makes amazing cakes. I mean, they're very
Just amazing.
they're very decorative. They taste wonderful. I mean, they're out of this world. So
That's awesome. I'm disappointed in your answer, but I'll just have to accept.
I'll eat the pie too. I'm not. I mean, I'll
All right, I'll eat 'em
absolutely
both.
take
My
a
wife
good pie.
can make, yeah, my wife's fantastic, but a pie with a perfect crust. All
That
right,
is good.
and all right, so that's it for the this, that, or love or hate. We're moving on to the very final thing, which is there we go.
Do I put this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
All
take
right.
that away for
Why?
you.
Thank you.
That was off camera, so they have no idea.
Oh,
what this
okay. I
was.
was gonna say
But
thank
that's
you,
okay.
mysterious platter.
Mysterious platter, which somehow adds a lot to the show.
But
And
I agree.
finally, which do you prefer? Pancakes, waffles, or French toast? Like, who doesn't like all of them?
I know. I will happily eat each and every one of those, but having to choose, pancakes.
Pancakes?
Yeah. I spent many years testing out like different pancake recipes too. Like,
Did
okay,
you
can
really?
I make
Yeah.
like a banana macadamia pancake or
Yeah. So you do that
blueberries?
yourself, too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All from scratch too. No Bisquick, none of that.
I'm impressed
Yeah.
with anybody because I can cook nothing.
Oh really?
Yeah, I can ruin a frozen burrito. Like it's not good.
I love to cook.
That's awesome. I
Yeah.
love that. And I think the only other thing is I have a story about horror movie.
A horror movie.
This goes back a while, and all I have down is horror
Overtime.
movie. We got nothing, do we?
I mean, the first thing that makes me think of, have you seen the Blair Witch Project?
I have. Oh, years ago. Like, I barely remember.
Same here. I barely remember it too, but it is scarred into my memory because I was the ideal age at that point when the movie came out. I think I
Yeah.
was like 14, 15, something like that.
That can hit
So
you all.
I went and watched that movie and I legitimately thought it was real footage at the time.
Oh, right, because they did put it out that way.
Oh yeah, it was
like the war
brilliant
of the
marketing.
world of our time. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And I thought it was all real footage and I was horrified. I mean, I lived right on like woods and I remember afterwards being like, I will never go in the woods again. Never. And then I found out it was a lie, no joke, because I saw the actress in the movie on Jay Leno.
And that's how
and I was like, wait a minute, I thought you were dead. Like, what?
And you're an actress. That's weird because you were in a movie.
Right.
Right.
So at that moment, I was like, oh man, I got
But
duped
they really
bad.
did make it like it was found footage.
Oh, it was brilliant. They had websites designed. I mean, they had multiple websites designed. So like if you went and Googled it, it would be like, you would go to these little niche websites that were trying to get, I mean, it was brilliant. So I
it
bought
didn't hit me that way. I was just old enough where I was like, you want to go see it? Nah.
Right.
I guess, and by the time it got to me that I knew, we had kids, little kids. So by the time that was out, it was kind of like, we can't leave the house. We
No, bro. Oh
stay
yeah.
here and care for this.
Yeah, you don't go see movies for like 5 or 6 years after you have kids. That's it.
I missed all this music, all this. I get to discover it like it's brand new.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. So I think we should talk. I've got a story I'm working on that I'd like to make a play, but it's fantasy.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm just gonna talk to you about it. See what do you think? Maybe even co-write somehow on this. I love it. Point where I don't know what to do with it, so we'll just have to talk.
Okay.
And see, because to the world of the fantasy world,
I would love it.
Those elements would give me that would fill in the gaps I have. I have the overarching concept,
right,
and it's really cool.
That's the beauty of fantasy is that your plot devices are not constrained by the world as it exists.
Yeah, the car wouldn't start. It's never going to be the
right. It could be the car wouldn't start. Strap a unicorn to the front, and boom, we're still going. We're good.
Or because what did you say?
Unicorn
landed on it. Like,
absolutely,
that's
absolutely.
why, not just
right.
That's rarely.
You don't have to know anything about cars
Yes.
to ruin a car in a
Yes.
fantasy novel.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love it.
Stupid gremlins. Mr. Morgan, this has been awesome. Both
Thank
times
you.
we did it. I really appreciate it.
A pleasure.
And don't forget, Sundays, every Sunday at 4, watch Squawk Talk. I mean, watch everybody. Ready?
Squawk Talk!
That's a hip hop.
Those don't.
trap it in there in the first place.
Okay.
Except I want to reverse the 2 acts. So we don't really know what this thing in the mirror is until it escapes. And then we hear the story of it, and then we actually see that happen in Act 2. So if that makes any sense.
It does.
So and the 3 actresses